on this computer. Okay, so we've just, Karen said we're going to do things that make you scared. We've spelled scare. Karen said that she was scared of flying because you feel out of control, you know, she's not in control of it. And then we asked you, Chris, what you were scared of, maybe one thing and why. And you came up with not being able to see anybody after lockdown, which was quite interesting to us. Because once lockdown is over, then of course you will be able to see everybody again. But it may be done in a kind of a phased basis. We don't know yet. The government's going to make some announcements this week.
So they keep saying, yeah.
Yeah.
But we will eventually, Chris, see each other.
Yeah.
We just have to wait. So there's many things that people are scared of, just not things like that, but also animals, like we've talked about before, being scared of spiders. And the fear of something is called a
fear of something called a you're right, go on. H-O-B-I and all the way over to the top, A. Yeah, just practice I to A. I, A. Very good. That was really good. Phobia. There. Well, let's just do it. Let's try and work on your tolerance to say sitting today.
So I just wondered whether, like, I'm scared of dogs as well, and I think I got the fear installed from my mum. But have you got any advice that you would give to someone who is scared of something, either an animal or maybe doing something new?
So let's make it just very specific. Let's say how about advice to Karen, who's scared of dogs? What advice would you give her? What advice would you give to Karen then? She's scared of dogs. S-E-E-C-I this T okay T go on. I see. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. See it. Okay. It is. See if it is. P-N wouldn't make sense. P-O-S-S. Use that elbow. Get some accuracy. Move this a bit lower. Lift the elbow. Let's get in a good position. That's it. Move back a bit. So you've done P-O-S-S. Go on. Lift your elbow. I-B-L-E. See if it is possible. T-O. 2 S P after the P. I can see you reaching E, use the pencil. N D to spend. P E P E R. So H A P perhaps A N and H O. Okay, you're doing good. You are an hour. Go on, carry on. That's a long one. See if it is possible to spend perhaps an hour A T at A F R F R I E. Come on, I E. That's the E. N D. Come on. At a friend's. H O. Oh, U. This would be good, yeah. S. H O U S. Touch the S again. S. Next letter. Next letter after the S. Come on. After the S is friend's house. W I T H with A. Okay. D. Oh, D. D. I would not I. See if it's possible to spend perhaps an hour at a friend's house with a D. Lift your elbow. O. G. Yes, maybe it could be a friendly dog. See if it's possible to spend perhaps an hour at a friend's house with a dog. That's right. I mean, that's a common way that the experts talk about overcoming your fears. You almost have to confront them, but just a little bit at a time, and then gradually build it up, don't you?
Yeah,
spiders, you know, have a spider just in the same room, and then
people can't, can they?
Yeah, turn around and sit down. So that's one way of doing it. Yes, it's good advice.
Thanks, Chris. But fear can actually be very useful, because when we are scared, our bodies naturally react. So just for practice with Mom, how about having a go at writing the short word react?
Your handwriting is today? Put it on here, I think. Which one there? There we are. So the R is going to be down and up. Remember. There. Oh, well, let's just try again. Down and round. That's a good one. Now the E. E is this movement. It's across and round, isn't it? Just a bit smaller. Cross, up and round. E and then A. You've got a circle and a line. Circle and a line. Okay. And then C, just like the first letter in your name. First letter in your name is just like a little semicircle, really, isn't it? C. And then T, a line down. Come on, straight line down. Ooh, and a little line across. Across. Okay, that was quite hard today.
Yeah, Chris. Well,
but it's always a good try, though.
I did see Chris looking over at me when he was doing it. Thumbs up. Very good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's just an impulse. Just tell yourself, I've only been here for a few minutes.
So our bodies, they react by releasing a hormone. Now this hormone, it begins with the letter A. Have you any idea what it's called? Doesn't matter, just yes or no, or have a go.
Hormone that gets released when we're put in a frightening situation, or also in an exciting situation, and it begins with A. Any ideas what it is? If you don't know, you can just say no, or you can have a go. Try lifting that arm. Got one of those heavy arm days today. There.
Oh.
A. D, you're in the right place, yeah. R, E, yes, you're right. N, A, very good. Keep that elbow lifted and then you'll be able to move on the board. L, nicely done. I, and N, and E, adrenaline. Very good. Adrenaline.
And when adrenaline is released into our bodies, it makes our heart beat faster. So it pumps blood and oxygen around the body so that we could be ready to run away or fight whatever it is scaring us. And this is known as fight or flight. Did you know that, Chris?
I might have heard Mum talking about it.
Yeah, that's what I
quite a
think.
few times. You heard of that before, fight or flight? Y, E, yes. O, I, T, it, H, A, P, P. Go on. After the P, P, lift your elbow. E, keep that elbow lifted. Go on, lift it up. Go on. Yes. It, H, A, P, P. Oh, if that helps. E, N, S, it happens. Lift your elbow. T, 2. Go on, wherever you go. It happens to me. Oh, after the E, where are you going? Yes, it happens. E. You're doing so well. Proud of you. S, O, M, some, T, I, M. I'll take that one. Touch the M again. M, sometime, T, I, M, you've done. M, you got stuck. Touch the M. N, E, S. Oh, well, yes, it happens to me sometimes. Yes, it does, doesn't it? I remember when you were younger, if ever when we were outside the house, if ever we saw someone that you only usually saw here, like I think once he saw you, Karen, in the co-op, and he was with his dad, then it was like such a shock to see Karen in a different environment that you just ran. You ran outside quickly. You went. Your whole body was just sent into shock, and you went into fight flight. That's what happens. But do you know what? You've got more used to it now. Now, when we see someone and we're outside, you don't go into fight flight. Well, not all the time, anyway.
No,
you know.
no. Well, when you see me, when you're with Bob, you just come up and say hello now, don't you? Which is really lovely. So our bodies, they release hormones during different activities as well, like when we're doing sport. And these hormones are called endorphins, and we've talked about these before. But do you know how endorphins make us feel?
Endorphins would make us feel H, A, P, and Y. Yes, endorphins make us feel happy.
Now, some people find being terrified an unpleasant experience. However, there's lots of people that nowadays actually like feeling fear because they think it can make them feel quite excited inside. Is there a situation that you may have been where you might feel excited and scared at the same time?
Excited and scared at the same time. Can you remember anything that has done that to you? B, E, I, N, being. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh, now then, what are you going to tell yourself? I'm going to carry on biting my hand and making those noises, or I'm going to control it and use all my energy to just say what I need to say. That's your choice. So you put being, O, on, A, being, on, A, R, I or E, I. Okay, that's good. Oh, just a scratch. Yeah. R, I, go on. R, I, D, E, a ride, being on a ride. A, T, at, A, F. Oh, what have you just said? You've chosen to bite your hand. Being on a ride at a, come on, go from the A. F, A, F, A, I or O? I, yes, I thought so. F, A, I, come on. Come on, you try changing boards. This one might be easier. F, A, I, go on. Go on, just finish the word, I know what it is. At a fair, yeah. Being on a ride at a fair. Oh, yes. Remember when we went on the big one, the Blackpool? Oh, I definitely saw you looking scared then. And I think we saw Dad looking even more scared. Because he didn't like heights. I don't think Dad was excited. I think he was just scared. You were excited and scared.
Although, to be fair, Chris, I think when I was younger, I was excited and scared. And if I was to go on it now, I'd just be very, very scared. And I think it must be to do with growing up and the fear getting worse.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So, a long time ago, we didn't have ways, the exciting ways to scare ourselves. And some people of a certain time became experts at doing this, and these were the Victorians. Now, I know you've talked about the Victorians with Mom, so you know quite a bit about them, but they lived in the UK between the years 1837 and 1901. Have you got the calculator there today, Sue, or not?
Yeah. Yeah, let me get the calculator. You stay.
Sorry.
Practice using this calculator again. You enjoyed doing that, didn't you? So we're going to do, how many years are we?
Yeah, well, I thought we could do both, depending on how.
So let's do 1901. So we do 1, come on. 1, 9, that's the 9. 0, 1, minus 1. We'll press the 1 a bit harder. 1, 8, 3. Press it a bit harder because it's not showing up yet. 3 and 7, and then equals. Press it harder. And the number is, see if you can point on here. So the number showing on the calculator is what? Read it and show down here. 6, 4, 64 years, yeah.
Brilliant. So do you think, oh no, hang on a minute. So I've got lost there, Chris, sorry. So in the Victorian times, we learned, or you've learnt with Mum, that there were many different great inventions. And we've talked about electricity and toilets, and also things as simple as aspirin, so medicines. But do you think it's important for people like us to learn about what has happened in the past?
Do you think that is important to learn about what has happened in the past like that? Is it important? You seem to enjoy doing history. Is it important? Y, E, yes. I, T, H, E, well, God, keep it going. Very good. H, E, where you going? L, and next letter P, it helps. Next letter, U, oh, you look like you were at S, it helps you. S, it helps us. T, after the T, next letter helps us. T, 2 helps us too. Yes, yes, it helps us too. Go on. This is something, one of the things that you wrote in one of the chapters of your book. It helps us to what? Helps us to U, N, D, E, R, S, T, very nice, A, N, D, it helps us to understand, T, H, E, D, W, O, very nice. Next letter after the O, go on, don't pause, don't pause. R, and next letter after the R, touch the R again, come on, don't lose flow. R, R, help us to understand, say W, O, R, finish it. L, and, oh, D, okay, accidentally there. Yes, it helps us to understand the world. Yeah. Okay, try it again.
Chris, so we know the world is round. Just for practice, let's draw 3 nice round circles.
Have a look and see if you can do a circle. Hold the pencil really firmly. I'm gonna go. 1, that was nice, and another one. 2, and another one. Very nice focus, very good.
Now, the Victorians also invented a genre of fiction called Gothic. Now, do you know what kind of stories Gothic stories are about? Doesn't matter, yes, no, or...
No.
No. So Gothic stories are quite dark and quite scary, and they often have sort of a supernatural feel to them, so they might have ghosts in them, and they have spooky settings. Do you think you'd like Gothic stories?
you like them? What do you think? I D O N T. I don't. R E A L L. I don't. R E A L. I don't really. I don't really. So it could be just I don't really. Or is there more? I don't. Is it more or finished? I don't want to anticipate what you're saying. I don't really. Oh, hang on. K. Is that N? N. O. Hand is freezing on me. Lift that elbow. That's because you've got it tucked in. So do that one again. Touch the O again. O and W. I don't really know. I suppose that's a fair response if you've not really heard any. You don't know whether you like them or not, do you?
No, that's very true, Chris. So we know that there are two types of books. There's fiction, which that we've just talked about, and there's non-fiction. So a fiction book, storybook, would be a story which is
Story with fiction equals N-O-T, not T. Come on. R-U and E. Not true.
That's right. A non-fiction would be something that obviously is true, such as a biography about people's lives. Do you know any other genres of books? So we've got Gothic. You have things like fairy tales. You might have suspense or crime. Have you any other ideas, or maybe one that you type of book, genre of books that you like?
Gothic, fairy tales, suspense. Can you think of any other? Just give us some examples of types or categories of books if you want. Any example? A U T O B I. This is good, yeah. Auto by. After the I, you touched N there. O, that's better. You've got to be accurate. O, yeah. Look, lift your elbow. G R. After the R. It was around. Try the pencil. Touch the R again. R. Auto by R. Gr. A. After the A. Finish the word. I know what you're saying because the one's about people. Yes. P. Not M. Ooh. H and Y. Autobiography. Yeah, they're a category of book, aren't they? Autobiographies, and then there's things like crime, there's reference books, there's all sorts of books, isn't there?
There's so many, there's many types of books. Just quickly, Chris, do you have a favourite type of book?
What about you? What do you think? Have you got a favourite? Danica? Have you got a favourite type? Favourite type? N. No, not A N Y. Not A N Y. Not A N Y. Not A N Y. Sit back down again, work on this tolerance. Not A N Y. T H I N. After the N. G, not anything. Not anything. Lift your elbow.
Yeah.
Bring it here. Not anything. Lift up. Lift your elbow so you can be accurate. I. Good. And that's better. See how good you are now. P. A. R. T. Come on, keep going. I. C. Good. See you moving all over the board now. Not anything in partic. Touch the C. C. Go on, keep it going. Next letter. Tell yourself. Next letter. Next letter. After the C. C. Try a different position. I'm going to stand up and see if it helps. Better where your elbow is going to touch the C. C. U. L. A. And I think you were touch the R. Just touch it. R. It's not anything in particular. Now, it seemed to be almost scanning. It wasn't like a hovering. It was almost like you were scanning and looking for the letters.
Oh.
Which is a bit weird. Not anything in particular. Okay. Yeah, I suppose your lady's all right. You like all sorts of books.
We do like lots of different books, I think. We've read many different types, haven't we, me and you? And you have with Mum and lots of people. So Mum's got some pictures printed out now, I think, Chris. Let's have a look at those together.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think the first one might be not printed properly if it's what it's on. I know yours is. It doesn't look like that on my... That's weird. It doesn't look like that on my iPad.
So which one are we looking at first?
The top left.
Let's look at this one. Okay, down you come. Okay, top left is just a man, isn't it? There we are, yeah. He's got a moustache and a beard to touch them. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a picture of Charles Dickens, and he wrote many famous Gothic fiction novels. A lot of them which are studied in school now. You've probably seen some of them on the telly. There's like Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, Great Expectations. Now, in Gothic fiction novels, there were many famous characters that were created. There was Dracula, Frankenstein, and Sherlock Holmes. Which picture do you think there is Dracula in the picture?
All right, hang on, let's have a look. One of the pictures is of Dracula. I'll give you a clue. It's Count Dracula. Down you come. Okay, which one is Count Dracula? Straight to it, yeah.
Now, there's been many cartoons and many films made of Dracula, and people used to think he was really, really scary. But we're not really scared of characters like that anymore. Not like the people were long ago. Why do you think we're not really scared? He's not really scary to us. I mean, he might be to you, but if you'd ask somebody now, they would say he probably wasn't very scary.
Yeah, have a look at him. Does he look very scary? No, I don't think so. So why is he? Sorry, what was the question again? Is it why isn't he scary to people nowadays? Yeah.
Like, sort of less scary today.
He's less scary. T H E R E there. A R. Go on, this is good. You're using gravity. E. There are. There are. Go on, I'll hold it here if that's easy for you. M O R. There are more. S. There are more. Done an S, and then you're looking out of the window. You need to look here if you want to carry on. So do the S again. S. S. T. Is that right? Ooh. Stay there. If you want to stand, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. So go again from the S. S. P. E. After the E. C. I. Go on. Oh, that's a good point. A. There are more special. E. E. F. Go on. F. E. F. Go on. There are more special. E. F. Go on. Go on. E. C. T. S. There are more special, we'll take it as 2Fs, more special effects. Yeah, I suppose nowadays it's more sort of all about the cinema, isn't it? And all the blood and guts and gory stuff and all the special effects. So a picture like Dracula there just doesn't look very scary at all. It just looks like a man with black hair, doesn't he?
Yeah. Very true, Chris. It is all. I mean, they can create some marvelous things now, can't they, with the special effects? Now, during the Victorian times, Christianity was very important, and most of the people believed that God existed, and the way that you behaved meant the difference of being sent to heaven or to hell. So on the pictures that Mum's got, which picture would you say represents Christianity on that page?
Which represents Christianity? Not Dracula. That's Dracula. That one's Dracula. Which one represents Christianity? You've just been drawn to the Dracula one, aren't you?
Oh, because we were talking about.
Well, we can talk about him a little bit. He's got like a bow tie on. He's got the black hair. And he's got the hands. So let's just cover him up. Out of these pictures, which one represents Christianity, would you say? Yes, the cross. Jesus on the cross.
Do you think that today in our society, Christianity is as important as it was in the Victorian times?
Do you think? That's an interesting question. Is it as important today as it was in the Victorian times? TO2 CERTAIN, certain. Come on, that was it. 230. Come on. T. With the drama up. E. O. E. L. To certain people. Certain people. Keep it going. Lift your elbow. I. Come on, keep it going. I. We've got Ashley. To certain people. T. I. Certain people it is. B. Go after the B. Come on. Don't break off in the little words. B. Lift that elbow. Touch that B again. B. Come on. You do it now. E. Try that down. To certain people it is. And you've done B. E. Go back to the brackets. To certain people it is. B. U. Okay. But. T. T. We'll try standing. Go on. T. H. E. Come on. Come on. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. R. After the R. Next letter. But there. A. R. Next letter. A. R. Leave a bit. Do the R again. R. E. There. R. L. L. E. S.
Oh.
R. Sit down again. Did you get so tired? I'm standing up. There are L. E. You do this. S. Less. C. H. CH. R. I. S. Go on. Tap after the S. Lift your elbow. Lift it. Lift it. Lift it. T. I. Come on, finish it, Chris. Finish it. Come on, finish it. A. M. S. To certain people it is, but there are less Christians, I'm not sure that you mean today.
Very true, Chris. Yeah. So the Victorians, they believed in heaven or hell. So it depended on whether you were good or whether you were bad. Just a yes/no answer is fine. Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Yes or no? No.
No, nor me, Chris. But I do hope that I'm good, and if I was going anywhere, I'd be going to heaven. So one of the other pictures on the page is a picture of a graveyard.
Graveyard. Touch the graveyard picture. Touch the graveyard picture. Oh, no, that's not the graveyard picture. Look. Sit down. Look, that one's the graveyard picture. Can you see the stones? On those stones, they have an inscription of the person who's died, and they're buried in the coffin under the ground. So just touch it, just for practice. Touch that gravestone. There it is. Good.
Now, these were often scenes in Gothic fiction, and a lot of people might find them a spooky place to be. Do you think that graveyards are scary places, or not?
Would you find a graveyard scary? No.
No, nor me, because my mum used to make us have a look around graveyards whenever we went somewhere different, just to see the names, how long that they lived for.
It can be quite interesting places, can't they, to look around?
I think we thought it was weird when we were little, but now it's quite interesting when you think you go and have a look and read the little stories about people on there.
Yeah, just a few more minutes.
Yeah.
So two more minutes. Yeah, go on, turn on. Let's see if we can do 2 more minutes.
Over time, people have found lots of new and exciting things to write about. So listen to this, Chris. Would you have ever thought that they would have written about a pandemic which was going to affect the whole world? Because they did. In a novel in 1981 called The Eyes of Darkness, they wrote about a pandemic very similar to the one that we're having now. What do you think about that?
What do you think about that? Come on, let's see if you've got any thoughts about that. So we're in the middle of a pandemic, and someone in 1981 wrote a novel about one. It's been a very scary experience. What do you think? No, it's come true. I see it. Okay, L E. Could you put that leg down? L E. Well, it was just in the way. It's hard for you to hold the board when you've got your leg in the way. So it's L. I think you did an E. T. S. It lets. U. S. It lets us. S. E. Let's us see. Okay. It lets us see. Let us see. Go on. T H A. That. Let us see that. Go on. Let's just finish it. T. O. H. Try and go straight to letter. I. N. That's better. G. The things. Okay, just froze in a minute. Just have a break. Let's us see that things. Now you'll be ready. Come on. The things. Lift your elbow. Get the next word out. Yeah, I. Things. What? The things. Go on. Just go from there. Get this next word out. Try with the pencil. Come on. Oh, not in your mouth. Eating the pencil isn't going to do you any good. That things, it lets us see that things I am. After the M, next letter. Go for the next letter. A. G. Lovely. I. N. After the N. E. After the E. There's the E. Things imagine. After the E. D. The things imagined. It lets us see that things imagined. Come on. This is good. Let's make it into a sentence. Makes us see, lift your elbow, things imagined. T O B to be. Things imagined to be. Go on. This is good. Lift your elbow. That things imagined to be. F. Is that the N or the I? Which one? Move your elbow. Look, that elbow's not moving. I. Go on. F, I. Okay, F-I-Y won't make sense. Things imagined to be. Now you did F-I-Y. Things imagined to be. You stand up again because you're having a bit of trouble at the moment. Try with that finger. So go from the F again if you wanted the F. Things imagined to be F, I, C. Okay, F-I-C. Go on, go on. T, I, O, N. Things imagined to be fiction. Things imagined to be fiction. Come on. C, A, can. Just give you some more feedback. C, O, just push forward. C, O, M. And after the M, oh,
very good.
After the M, after the M, I'll hold your shirt. After the M, E, T, R, U. After the U, E. Very nice. It lets us see that things imagined to be fiction can come true. All right, just like one more minute, I think, Karen.
Yeah. I mean that this is the finish, really.
Okay.
So just a little idea of yours, Chris, of what you think people might be writing about now that will be sort of true in 50 years' time. Any ideas? Or something that you write about now that you'd like people to read in 50 years' time?
Any ideas on this? You might be pushing it a bit here, Karen.
I know.
Turn around because it's getting quite hard to facilitate. Go on.
Oh.
What could you imagine? Imagine that you're writing a piece of fiction about the year 2070. Right, Unison. These things in 2070. This is going to happen. 2070. Where are we going to? T H E V P E O E L people, W I L people will I'll take that as a double L. The people will why is that right because the Y was a mistake or some other reason? I don't know. So go from the people will T R. You ever make a mistake, you don't have to bite your hand, you know. It's fine to make mistakes, we all do. So do the R again. Do T R. What comes after the R? Oh, was that B or A? T R A V E. Will travel. Is that T? O to. Travel to. T H E. Travel to the. Where? Travel to the. N O O N. Okay. The people will travel to the moon. You mean like ordinary people maybe will travel to the moon? Maybe. Oh, I know. Where shall we go today? Shall we go to Sutton Park or shall we go to the moon? It might just be like that, mightn't it? Yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it? Or maybe we should go to Mars. I don't know. Which one would you prefer? Maybe that's what they'll do.
It's very true, because we've talked about going to Mars and things, haven't we? And the space people are trying to take people to the moon. So it could all come true. Who knows?
There we are. All right. Go on then. Oh, there.
Oh.
You do a stop.